letting it to your Uncle Jack, and then the camera pans over to Uncle Jack sitting at the table, and then Charlie's like, is that why he's here? She's like, yeah, I need money to pay the rent. And Charlie's like, Mom, you don't pay rent. You've owned this house for years. And she's like, well, I'm broke.
So pretty.
And then Charlie's like, Uncle Jack's like, it's okay, Charlie. We can share the room together. Like, you know, back in the old days, we used to wrestle. You know what wrestling is? And Charlie's like, yes, I'm aware what wrestling is, Uncle Jack. Don't touch me. He's like, it's okay. It's what two perfectly normal relatives do to each other. And Charlie Kelly's like, no, I'm absolutely positive that no uncles and no nephews do the things that you used to try to do to me when we were kids, man. So I'm not going to sleep in the same room with you again. It's fucked up, but it's funny how he plays it off. I don't know. I shouldn't be laughing, I suppose. But Uncle Jack's the best, because he comes in another episode. He comes into Charlie's mom's house, and he's like, hey, Bonnie. Charlie's mom's like, hey, Bonnie. I just dropped by to pick up that hard drive that I accidentally left under your floorboards the other day. She's like, oh, sure thing, let's go get it. But I don't know, who knows what's on the hard drives, but it's fucked up. It's just funny how he words it. But he's insecure about his hands. He thinks they're too small. So he wears these Caucasian Incredible Hulk hands. Yeah, and during the trial episode where he's the main lawyer, he like dramatically points over to someone in the audience to say that they're guilty. He's like, it was Ryan McPoyle or Liam McPoyle, one of the two, and he flings over his Hulk hand, and his Hulk hand goes flying off into the audience, and then he just looks at his hand and he throws it inside of his coat and he starts screaming. He's like, ah, nobody look, nobody look. And he runs over, and then it cuts, and then he's doing the same thing again, only his hands are duct taped to his arm. Like you see, like everything's duct taped down now. But later on, whenever he's over at Bonnie's, he comes in the living room and he sees Bonnie and Danny DeVito making out on the couch. He's like, oh, Bonnie, sorry. If I would have known you were having company, I would have put my hands on. I don't know. You just gotta see it, man. You're never gonna see it.
Sure I will.
Yeah. When pigs fly, as they say. Or when pigs have wings. Is that it? I've seen pigs fly. Have you at least seen the Nightman Cometh episode?
I think I've only seen the first 2 seasons.
Okay, this is one episode that you need very little reference. This is one, like, whenever I'd watch the show, I didn't watch them in order. I would watch one here and there that piqued my interest, and then eventually got to the point where I was laughing hysterically every episode, because that at the time was my first time watching it. Here we are, 13 years later. I'm still giggling my ass off every time I watch it. But by the way, the episode where the McPoyles take the gang hostage, that episode is actually like an homage to Die Hard. Because Frank's up in the air conditioning ducts crawling around, and nothing but a wife beater, like an undershirt, you know.
Yeah.
And he gets all dirty and shit. Yeah. He's not wearing any shoes for whatever. I think he might be wearing shoes. I assumed he wasn't, but. In order to crawl through this duct, he had to tape his pistol to his back because it kept falling out of his pants. So whenever he gets out of the duct, the whole gang's up top with shotguns being pointed at him, and Charlie and Frank are crawling out of the air vent, and the gang's like, yeah, Charlie and Frank came to save us, yay! And then Charlie and Frank kind of just look at each other and like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And then that's when Danny DeVito and Liam McPoyle have a the John McClane, Hans Gruber standoff moment where they kind of have that talk where they're both hard asses in their own way. You got your New York cop versus your gentleman German businessman. It's great. But you remember what happens at the end of Die Hard? The final awesome scene?
Yeah.
Where John McClane puts his hands over his head, and then Hans Gruber has the gun to Holly's head. He's like, "Yes, well, Mr. Cowboy, it appears." What does he say? It appears John Wayne won't be riding off into the sunset with Grace Kelly. And then John McClane has his hands above his head. He's like, "That's Gary Cooper, asshole." And then Hans Gruber's like, "Oh, what was it you said to me?" "Ah, yes. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." And then John Willis starts laughing. He just starts laughing for whatever reason, hysterically. And then Hans Gruber starts laughing hysterically. And then the other bad guy in the room starts laughing hysterically. That's whenever the camera pans over and you see the pistol taped to the back of John McClane's, on the back of John McClane. And then he reaches forward, he's like, "Oh, duck!" And he pulls up a pistol and fires 2 shots off real fast, pops both the bad guys in the head, blows the barrel, blows the smoke out of the barrel like a cowboy. Then he's like, "Happy trails, Hans." That's why I say happy trails, Hans, if I'm ever
They
in the
deserve to
game.
die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Dude, you need to watch that movie again.
Die Hard.
It's so good. There's not enough times in the world you could watch it and be like, "I've watched it enough." No, you haven't. I can almost guarantee you haven't.
Seen it once.
If you can count how many times you've seen it, then you haven't seen it enough. Let's just say that.
Fuck you!
This is years of experience. It's taking me, I want to say, a good 20... I'll go on the low end. I'll lowball and say 20 years I've been watching Die Hard movies. Oh, God, be longer than that. 22, 23 years maybe? Because Die Hard came out in 89, I think. And I remember watching it as a young kid with my dad, because he didn't give a shit what I watched. Not in the sense I could watch absolutely anything I wanted, but he would let me watch wrestling and Friday the 13th, stuff like that.
Good man.
Stuff that stuff you shouldn't let like a 5-year-old watch, but whatever. My parents, I've probably mentioned, well, my parents were divorced at the time, and my mom had sole custody, but I only saw my dad maybe twice a month at the most. But when I go over there, a lot of times I end up watching movies and shit.
Suffer.
Lethal Weapon, all those. All the Die Hards, Friday 13th, Halloween. The Rock. I remember watching that. That movie blew my mind. I loved it so much. Con Air. Dick Tracy. Remember Dick Tracy?
I don't watch it.
Movies, in all honesty, the movie's not great. Because, it's a cheesy comic book movie, so what do you expect? But you got an all-star fucking cast. Almost everyone in that movie is a AAA actor and put on great performances, especially Al Pacino playing his big boy. It took me forever to realize who that was until I remember him screaming. I heard him screaming that, "I want Tracy dead, you hear me? I want him dead!" That exact line reminded me of something he said in Godfather 3 or Godfather 2. Just the way, I think it was Godfather 3. Just the way he was screaming. That Al Pacino scream. I'm sure you're familiar with Al Pacino.
Yeah, the guy from The Godfather.
Exactly. But then that's whenever it dawned on me. I was like, holy shit. That's Big Boy from Dick Tracy? This is pre-IMDb, Google, and bullshit like that. This is back when we had to use our minds and our imagination. I don't know if you remember those days. You're so used to Snapchat.
I remember having to go to the library and look at Malton's book to see who was in a movie.
Boy.
You wouldn't just say, fuck it, I'll figure it out when I figure it out.
No.
I would usually read some kind of review about it in a magazine at the grocery store.
Huh.
A dick here to buy stuff that she knows she's gonna buy, and then look at stuff she knows she's gonna look at, and then put that stuff down that she knows she's gonna put down because she knows the price. So it's like my mom would like to waste so much fucking time looking at everything, and I'm thinking, I know what you're gonna buy.
You tell her.
So no, you let her. I let my mom be. Because when my mom and dad were divorced, she raised 3 kids on her own for quite some time. Like I said, I only saw my dad a couple times a month, which really wasn't too much, but I was too young to really let it impact me too much. I'm not that type of person who holds that, uses that as a crutch or anything. That's neither here nor there. I would never argue with mom about stuff because I knew what was going on with her and dad and what she was having to raise. She had to put herself through school to raise us, which I was very impressed by that. Very proud of my mom for that. But anyways, you got me talking about my mom for some reason. We were talking about the magazine. Sorry, Jason's on me. I had to beat his ass real fast. But anyways, yeah, when mom would be stubborn-headed, going looking at groceries and shit, I would just go to the magazine aisle and look at like Game Informer or whatever the latest, like Entertainment Weekly, whatever had movie stuff. I would just check it out. I'm dead.
I know.
You son of a bitch.
What?
You should have told me. I'm Jason.
I thought you knew.
No, I was talking.
Yeah.
You had me talking about my mom for like 10 minutes. It seemed like.
Well, you just part too.
That's where I got most of my cheat codes from Tips and Tricks. Did you read Tips and Tricks magazine?
I would get Electronic Gaming Monthly and GamePro also.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got GamePro. I was in a Mr. Rich Big Shot Whammykablam back then. Getting all the GamePros, Game Informers, Nintendo Weekly.
I even had a subscription to GamePro.
I'm sure. I'm surprised you were able to let me get away for that long. So I really wasn't. I figured I was gonna die. I got lucky with a couple swings, but I don't even realize.
Holy shit! Is that a dead body?
Oh, she's downstairs. No, you don't.
You can only claim to be a true Dig Dug fan once you've platinumed Dig Dug on PS4.
Don't
I have not
stop
played them yet.
They deserve
But I
to
do have
die. Make them suffer like we.
It only takes a couple hours if you focus on it. The hardest trophy is digging up every block. every single block in one level.
That seems reasonable.
I mean, if you're good, that was the first time I'd ever played the game. After I played it on there, I went to the Arcade Expo in Louisville, and then they said they had Dig Dug and then Dig Dug 2. I guess they made a sequel to the game, or something like that. Right. I played it on there, and I did okay. I wasn't really great at the game, but like it only took me a couple, 2 or 3 hours to platinum it.
He's been AFK the whole time.
They deserve to die,
Is that it?
Jason.
God damn.
Make them suffer.
I really shouldn't get this VR.
You've done your job well, and
Come
Mommy
on.
is pleased. Come home, sweetie.
It's just, it's like, I feel like I'm gonna have buyer's remorse immediately because I'll be thinking how much better the HTC Vive is and how much I'd rather have that. But if I buy that, which is probably like 500, 400 at best if I find it barely used with only a few hours on it,